actually get a lot of questions on Audi since I've owned, just so many of them. This is just a particular car I was doing in the morning, and I felt that, let me use this as a test subject. Love Audis, there's no mistake about that if you watch any of my videos. I always drive an Audi too. So, all right, let me just go over this car. This is a 2002 3.0 Audi A4. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's expensive to maintain, it's this, it's that. Well, if you know what you're looking for and you know where to buy parts, it's not so bad. Most people, unfortunately, do not know how to look at cars properly. You could already tell that this thing probably needs tire rod ends, ball joints, stuff like that because of the bald tires in the front. Another thing about Quattros is that everything should be the same. And what I mean by that is that the tires should be the same. They should not be different sizes or staggered. You don't do that to these cars because it throws them all off. So obviously both sides really need it. Now this is something that I'll tell you, I never really see in an Audi, and it doesn't matter how old it is. I have an 86. Yeah, it does have a little rust in that little corner. Sometimes you'll see it, but not necessarily do you see rust on these vehicles, because the zinc when they dipped these cars was just amazing. But for some strange reason that this particular car has rusting over here. But this is actually the first A4 that I've seen like that. That may mean that, yeah, that this fender was painted, probably with an aftermarket fender, and that's probably a reason why. It was probably cheap. And then sometimes what happens is, see, look, it's even worse because this has gone into here and probably gone underneath the seams on the plastic. I guess I would say, you could look for that, but it's something that I've never really seen too often in these cars. Another trouble spot on the A4, and you'll see on a lot of Volkswagens and A6s, is this right here. Unfortunately, they seem to break a lot. I don't know if it's because people do not handle them properly, or when they open them, they just let them fall down. There was no kind of like spring load to it. As you can see here, this one looks like it's going to go eventually too. And if you pile a whole bunch of stuff on them, that could also hamper the strength of the glove box. In reality, this actually belongs under here in its booklet, but there is no leather-bound book. Okay. Other than that, what else would be a problem? Okay, another problem issue with the 3.0 is, and since they were new, because back in the day, I was doing quite a bit of these things brand new. What will happen with these is when you first start them in the morning, they will always have a little tapping noise up at the top for about 5 seconds, and then it goes away. Very common on these 3.0s. It's almost like the oil just doesn't stay up there properly, so you will find that a lot. Also, there was an issue with, of course, the igniters. I'll show you those. This one has an ABS light on. Now, it could be a module. It can be very expensive if you go to the dealership. However, honestly, I've done quite a bit of these in my career, and I usually do not see these vehicles with the ABS light on. Usually the A6s, they're very common, but not so much this car. You look on eBay, you could find this part a lot cheaper than, of course, going to Audi. Now, ESP is thrown off because ESP uses the brakes in order to stabilize the vehicle. So that will also throw off the symbol, will throw off that symbol, and of course the system, making you think it's a lot worse than what it is. These coils here at one time were a big issue. You would find a lot of these vehicles were kind of missing a little bit if water got onto them, or they were troublesome in the beginning. Now, these have come down tremendously, these coil packs, and they're very, very inexpensive to get. I think some of them I've seen even in the $30, $30 to $40 range. So, hey, if you know what you're looking for, it's a fabulous automobile, whether it be this one or others like it. If you have any questions, give me a call. I know just a little bit about them.